Good evening, everybody. System Chalk here with the 26th episode of the Librarian run for Cultist Simulator. We are trying to dodge some nasty business as far as our reputation is concerned. Now, we have been able to get past Spencer Hobson's original investigation, but this did come at the expense of some extra mystique, so there's a 1 in 3 chance that the notoriety will be picked up by Leo. On the other hand, we don't have an investigation opening up into us right away. We do need to worry about some sickness, but we are already going out for a walk. So, long walks kill cobwebs. Let's see how it all goes. Hey, we got lucky. I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case. Excuse me. And they found no new clues. Tried to have a sip of tea in between, but apparently I I gulped down air. All right. We're mud spattered and thorn scratched, but we've made it through. So we'll add a course of the heart. Whenever the principle of the heart is implicated, I may gain vitality, and we did get rid of the mystique. We don't really have that much to do, so let's get rid of the mystique just to avoid any problems with the suppression bureau later on. But one way or the other, we've got what we need to be able to deal with the sickness. Oops. Okay, the well in the woods is never dry, but it is never clear. One night, it might heave with crawling roots. On another, it will pulse with bright moss. On nights of the full moon, its waters are choked with the fat-dabbled bodies of moths. Last night, I saw it brimming with dark and viscous blood. Gelatinous shreds drifted on its surface. Clots of grail matter. Okay. I think we have enough time to get another trip to the Wooden. Again, I want to get those occult scraps just in case we need some, need some in reserve for the, just in case we need some for the library. Right, let's add ease events. I've neglected my studies, but I stand a little straighter. I should probably be doing the same myself. I've been neglecting my health and vitality in life. Alright. We'll leave the study verb open. We don't need to keep doubling it up. And as it turns out, it is a good idea for us to scoop up at least a bit of the mystique. We should be okay. It's going to take us a while to finish off the expedition. This is a case, actually, where losing to the Watchers could actually be a good thing for us. But one way or the other, we want to make sure we don't have a notoriety down for the Suppression Bureau when the time comes. We'll put in some extra money. Again, there's no cost to doing so, so that just saves me from trouble in the future. Excuse me. Rumors everywhere. Sorry I didn't read the text before. I'm trying to crash ahead into the Forsaken Reach just so we can know where we stand. 8 seconds before the illness comes up, so we might as well wait it out. Okay, Connie's on the case. Their bewilderment is our opportunity. We'll pass in silent secrecy. There we go. And optimism is a spice which saves. So I think might be a little early to throw Leo into this, but let's give it a shot just in case. So we have 30 seconds after the mystique gets picked up where we're in danger, so I think that means we're fine. But I think I've established I'm not very good at the timings, so I don't know. We'll all find out together. So 26 seconds, then we have another timer that runs by. Okay, so there's a full minute that we wait here. It'll be close. So we are going to run out the clock a little bit on Connie here, but I don't remember if it's a minute or 30 seconds when we get to the final stage. However, I think there will be competing magnets on the screen. So that might work in our favor. Okay, so 30 seconds. That's definitely something Connie will pick up if it's the only thing that's left. A barred door, a cramped space, a hidden cargo. We've got 29 seconds with Leo, so maybe he will save us. If I could somehow generate a mystique, that would actually help us. And it went to Connie. Alright, the Watchers here were guarding crates sealed with thief-signed ribbons. This was not a lawful operation. The owners of the cargo may not be pleased with our meddling. Okay, another copy of Kerner and Goethe. We'll send Leo in. We'll send Leo back right away. Or no, actually, there's no. Well, no, there's actually possibly a benefit if, for whatever reason, Connie doesn't create the evidence. He can pick up the. He can pick it up right away, but. Actually, a moth follower would have been better. The Wolf Despair prowls elsewhere. Season of Ambitions, so Rhaenyra might try to snap up the Forsaken Reach. We'll of course go to the location before she can pick it up. And I'm certain my adversary has lodged a copy of their notes elsewhere, with their solicitor, with their superior, or even with a contact in the press. This is troubling. So what we'll do here, we'll pull out the Society of the Holy Wound. So we'll basically say, never mind, with Leo. I awake in the night, my palms, my face are beaded with sweat. And we'll just get one of our moth followers to deal with the evidence. Okay, more occult scraps. It would still be nice if we could go to the White Door so that we could stock up on Forgotten Chronicles. But again, I want a good read on what the Forsaken Reach is going to get. The worst thing that could happen to me would be to run out of occult scraps to investigate. A surplus is fine because we can turn those into Furtive Truths and Furtive Truths into Forgotten Chronicles. But if we run out of the Forsaken Reach, then that does actually affect whether or not I'm, what decisions I wind up making with the Shires. It's not permanent. Like I'm still gonna have to go through the location of the Shires. I'll do it, but I'd like to go in with a little more certainty about what I can and can't do with the things that I find there. I think I can afford to speed things up. Okay. Oops. Definitely going to need to make sure I add the funds. So we'll leave the dread for now. I may need to worry about it, but at the moment we'll ignore it. Alright, now we can't ignore it. Mind you, we're probably not going to have enough time to do anything else. This is... Yeah, no, we'll still do it this way. Vitality is not unwelcome, but I maybe should have gone for the thing that would have given me restlessness, because then I could have painted. Mind you, there's nothing stopping me from painting now. Sorry, I meant to read that. We call upon the watchman who navigates. The watchman will clear our sight so we can almost certainly pass without error. Okay, arrivals at their business in the shadows. They're still in hiding. What exactly are they up to? My minion has returned. The evidence has been destroyed. I am a little safer. Okay, so we are free to bring in another follower. Whether or not that's a good idea, I'm doing it. This one is ready. Another sickness. I have the vitality, but we'll get a spare one just in case. Okay, we're mud spattered and thorn scratched, but we made it through. And we can add Sylvia, so evidence was destroyed in time. Overall, good day's work. Fine, only a little wound, just enough to give homage to the powers that open. So we'll add our pawn to the list. This one's extra redundant because, you know, Neville or Enid will be a level 10 knock follower when the time is done, a key. But that's going to take a while, so... I'm curious what happens with Rhaenyra here. We're still in... okay, looks like they are still at 5. Let's get Leo working on that Mystique. I probably should have got him working on that earlier, but we still have time on the expedition. Despair prowls elsewhere. Okay, free turn. A powerful deception. Look closer, closer still. Closer! Keep looking closer. Close your eyes. Got more vitality than I know what to do with. Ah! That's the second time in a row. Alright, progress, again, not important, but not unwelcome. Again, this is a very stereotypical government worker attitude towards the investigation. I'll have a little bit of time when I'm actually, you know what? I will hold off, just because I can throw an early vitality in. It's really interesting how this numbering, like 5 doesn't feel like it's all that close to the end, and yet on the other hand, like if Rhaenyra were to get to 6, that would be the point where I try and put her away, right? So, you know, it says long in the making, and I'm like, you know, we've got plenty of time. But when you look at it, like if Rhaenyra's ascension winds up. Like if Rhaenyra's ascension winds up getting that that close, like I'm gonna have to completely reorganize the playthrough around that. Hopefully we won't get to that. But okay, this is gonna get a little dicey. I think we're probably going to wind up hit by the notoriety. But, you know, we always, as always, we do our best. Alright, it's a barred door, a cramped space, a hidden cargo. Piebald pigment, bitter black salts, grey dawn oil, martensite paint, Byzantine tinct. So we have, I'd say, at least 2, probably 3 more trips to the Forsaken Reach before we can say anything for sure. The Watchers here were guarding crates sealed with thief-signed ribbons. This was not a lawful operation. The owners of the cargo may not be pleased with our meddling. Wait, I think we got a Meravine idol from something other than the Forsaken Reach. Yeah, I'm thinking we have a minimum of 2 Forsaken Reach trips before we can say anything for sure. So, unlucky, but that's life. That's twice you've blown it on a Mystique, Leo. What are you doing? Let's get a... Let's get one of our Mothy people on it. Okay, we don't know what Rhaenyra is looking for yet, but let's get that expedition underway. So if things didn't turn out with Rhaenyra, it's like 30 seconds that, or not Rhaenyra, with if things didn't turn out with Sylvia, it's basically about 30 seconds that we lose with it. But we're just a little bit further ahead in terms of either destroying the evidence or knowing that we're going to have to work on it again. There we go. Again, I'm sorry there isn't a little bit more action. This is really just kind of how this run works. Until I learn how the Forsaken Reach works, I'm stuck sort of repeating the same actions a few times over. Okay. I think if anything, this may just extend the length of the Mystique, but... Okay, happy to take an occult scrap. I walked in the wood last night, and the scissors walked in the distance, and furred things crammed in my mouth and swarmed in my ears, and I felt the old urge to drop to wolf fours and nose among the roots. But I remembered that I walk upright by day, and I know fire and steel and words, and at last I found where the velvet had concealed a secret on tree bark beneath moss. I read it then with the tips of my fingers, and I think now that I could write it in full. Okay, we should at least throw some money at it. New leads. A little early on Sylvia there. My rival has been up to some kind of mischief. The Suppression Bureau will take note. Probably should have paid a little closer attention to what was going on there, but we're fine. So that looks like 2 seasons of Ardors back to back. Let's get Sylvia in. We're making a lot of progress on the investigation. If I ever... well... Yeah, no, I just basically... If the worst that would happen would be I accidentally put a damning evidence in, and what happens is I lose the potential of recruiting Rhaenyra. Which, you know, it's not great, but that's not a session ender. Okay, hopefully I don't have night terrors. The Watcher's victory. They are more cunning and more numerous than we'd expected. This will end in blood for us. Hopefully we don't lose someone. Ugh. Pope Clifton, okay, he can afford a wound. Okay, I think actually a season of sickness may... My health may soon suffer, my wounded followers may die, so let's just get Pope Clifton in a in a better state. Still deceiving the Watchers. We will pick up heavy things and put them down again, and then we will take a trip to the wood. Spending too much money. I might even fall below 200. That will not do. Okay, the Watcher's confusion. Their bewilderment is our opportunity. We will pass in silent secrecy. That's part. We've got a season of suspicion coming up, so another inconvenient timing compared to when we're going to be finishing the expedition, but that's life. We've been able to deal with evidence before, so I think I'll wait out the sickness again and the lessons of experience. The wound is healed, the scar remains, but each scar, as the scholar Shulga once observed, is a lesson. So we have a mean Pope Clifton now. Let's get Leo on a charm offensive again. It may be too late as far as the suppression bureau is concerned, but we can at least try and cover our backsides. Okay. And we are an evidence machine right now. Barred door, a cramped space, a hidden cargo. Actually, I think Leo may be able to pick up the notoriety before the suppression bureau gets it. 9.9 seconds. No, we're just short. If I was a little faster with Leo, I think we would have been fine. Alright, the Watchers here were guarding crates sealed with thief-signed ribbons. This was not a lawful operation. The owners of the cargo may not be pleased with our meddling, so 8 on the vital pigment, 4 on the bitter black salt, Refulgen. So the thing that's worth noting here, right, it's we always want to keep an eye on the things that we can get from this location. So essentially, you know, what's divisible by 4? So we knew we had a copy of the Greek text before. I'm pretty sure we got a Meravine idol from one of the other locations. So we know we draw from the deck 3 times each time we complete this. So we've got the Meravine idol, we've got the Vital Pigment, Stained Gloves, Rose Pearl Dust, Cracked Noonstone, Refulgin. One of the things I should have paid attention to before was the fact that we never got the Elegably Manacles. That should have been the hint to me that the deck was being messed with. But yeah, Martensite Paste, we know we get from the location. We also know we get the Byzantine Tinct, the Grey Dawn Oil, and the Piebald Pigment from it. So that's going to be 3 items that we get from the Forsaken Reach. And then, at that time, we would assume that the deck goes to 0. It reshuffles, and I suspect it's going to be like a fresh run on the Forsaken Reach, save for the Elegably Manacle, and actually the Cipher Journal. What is it? Yes. So I've not read the Fusine textbook. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. I've not read that yet because I don't know for sure if this is going to work. So we have 2 more runs. So here's the thing. We have 2 more runs on the Forsaken Reach. The second one is where I can have an expectation of getting items. But it's possible we draw 3. Like, so in terms of the number of things that we can get, right? Meravine Idol, Vital Pigment, Stained Gloves, Rose Pearl Dust, Cracked Noonstone, Refulgin, Martensite Paste, Byzantine Tinct, Grey Dawn Oil, Piebald Pigment, and Bitter Black Salts. All of those are possible. Oh yeah, and of course Kerner and Goethe, which still won't tell me anything. So every single one of those are possibilities from our first draw. Like, the thing that's crazy about this is that for a comprehensive check, I would actually need to do another run. I could get super unlucky, and I'd have to do all of this again. So actually, in theory, let's actually just take a second to work this out. So Meravine Idol, 2 Vital Pigments, Stained Gloves, 2 Rose Pearl Dust, so that's 7. Noonstone, that's 8. 2 Refulgin, so that's 10. Martensite Paste, 11. Byzantine Tinct, 12. Grey Dawn Oil, 13. Piebald Pigment, 14. Bitter Black Salts, 15. 16. So really, we would actually need, I think, 6 trips to the... Like, as an upper bound, to say with certainty that we cannot get the books that we need from the Forsaken Reach. I think we would actually need 6. I don't think we're going to. Like I said, that's the worst possible case. I can't be that unlucky, but it's just, you know, one of these things that it's nice to have that in mind, particularly, you know, if I do start getting those items, especially if I were to do 2 trips to the Forsaken Reach, I would definitely be questioning myself at that point. We will... Let's get Sylvia on the job. Right, the sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. Back to the wood. Let's see what Sylvia's up to. What hungers drive us? Here's another who would ascend before me. Alright, so... Quiet test. We'll throw Sylvia at the evidence. Let's go to the Forsaken Reach. So again, this is one where we don't expect anything. It's the second time that's happened. This run, I mean. Alright, they're still in hiding. What exactly are they up to? Alright, my minions return. The evidence is destroyed. I'm a little safer. I should send Leo out to pick up the steep that's going to get generated. Ooh. See, this is why fast forward's dangerous. I am disciplined. I am all discipline. I haven't lasted this long to give up so easily. So let's see what happens with Rhaenyra. Right, my rival's been up to some kind of mischief. The Suppression Bureau may take note. We're safe across treacherous ground. Good. And more progress. Okay, dread. So unless, well, I mean, we may have night terrors, so we can't rule out. We can't say that we're safe from the Season of Despair quite yet. All right, Elizabeth, show us your stuff. Temptation is past for now, and I know we're at the end of our time, but I want to see the end of this expedition just so that we can, you know, the next episode we can, basically we have a clean slate. We know we're at the point where we may start seeing some text at the end of this. Man, I've been really productive on the evidence front. So again, I need at least one more occult scrap before I start going back to the stag door. Okay, Watcher's Confusion means we should be using Leo. Season of Suspicion shows up at its inconvenient time, as it always does. Okay, so in theory we have what we need for the certainty run. I think I'm probably going to go for an occult scrap surplus just to be safe. And again, whether or not I have the nerve to actually, you know, hold the Forsaken Reach as long as all of that is another question, but okay. So again, I do believe it is possible for Leo to pick up a... Oh, actually, the Suppression Bureau will not get the evidence, or not get the notoriety because their timer is too early. Okay. The Watchers were guarding crate sealed with thief-signed ribbons. This was not a lawful operation. The owners of this cargo may not be pleased with our meddling. So, clearly I miscounted on the Noonstone. And the stained gloves. That or we've cycled over. But that doesn't make sense because of the Gradon oil. Anyways, that obviously throws my numbering off, but we're still going to proceed as planned. So, with that in mind, probably 2 more trips to the Forsaken Reach then. Because, like, again, it was just... I haven't been keeping proper track of the remaining items. Unfortunately, I deleted that on my notes. But again, like, if I've got something, excuse me, if I've got something with 5 in it, to me that's a bigger indicator that I found it in another location. And again, I'm sure I could go into the files and see it, but I didn't, like, at the start of this, I could have consulted the files, and I did for a little bit, and then I sort of said, well, like, do I want to sit down and plan out playing Cultist Simulator, or do I just want to play Cultist Simulator? And obviously, the fun thing for me is to play it and to figure it out while I go on. But unfortunately, this does mean that I'm going to be off on a couple of my my measurements here. So tomorrow we will carry on with the Forsaken Reach. We should make good enough time in terms of getting these items cleared out, and then hopefully we'll be able to make some determinations in terms of whether or not we can access books. But all of that will be dealt with in a future episode. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.